The U.S. lumber industry is in trouble. Large furniture makers have abandoned the USA, and a growing number of raw logs are being shipped overseas for processing. And changing consumer tastes and construction downturns and the recession have slashed demand for hardwood flooring, trim and red oak, long the most dominant species. And global economics and the housing bust are throwing a relentless string of problems at the small sawmills and logging companies that make up much of the nation's hardwood lumber industry. The result has been rapidly rising unemployment for forestry workers and a sharp decline in hardwood production. Government statistics show production has dropped from 12.6 billion board feet in 1999 to approximately 10.7 billion last year. And one U.S. Forest Service economist expects production to dip even further to 10.5 billion board feet or less this year. I don't even think the numbers demonstrate how bad it is, the economist said. We haven't seen this amount of decline year out and year out since the early part of the 20th century. Furniture makers are now heading overseas. The industry's problems started more than a decade ago when U.S. furniture makers started leaving the States in favor of foreign destinations with cheaper labor and lower operating costs. Manufacturing is moving away. It's going to China or somewhere else. We're looking at a depressed industry. And the prices are where they were 20 years ago. To be profitable, you've got to watch everything and eliminate all the fat in the payroll. Prices vary by factors such as species and grade, as well as negotiations with buyers. The price of cabinet grade lumber has slumped in some cases to $900 for 1,000 board feet. For years that price was $1,200, and at times as much as $1,400. People in the industry say the formerly booming housing market masked problems for a while by creating demand for hardwood cabinets, trim and flooring. But that bubble burst with the housing market's free fall. Even though furniture was going down dramatically, we had kind of a buffer there with these other industries. But as soon as the housing market cooled, these industries, they all started having problems. The industry is shrinking. There's probably at least a dozen cases of at least sawmill closings or mills of prominence. The value of the timber versus the price that they're able to get for the lumber is too tight, or it's selling at a loss. They can't charge enough to stay in business. The Bureau of Labor Statistics data reflects how the industry is shrinking. The number of timber jobs nationwide fell at least 13% to 8,790 in 2006 from 9,910 in the year 2000. Likewise, the number of logging equipment operators has declined more than 17% to 28,300 in 2006 from 34,180 in 2000. It's shrinking pretty fast. Another problem lurking in the background is an unfortunate shift in consumer taste. Homeowners once wanted red oak, the most common hardwood. Now, lighter grain species, especially maple and poplar, are in vogue. places where they have heavy red oak forests, like Arkansas. They're hurting much more in Michigan, where they have maple. But still, altogether, all the sawmills are starting to hurt in some kind of way. Looking around the industry, and many see mill owners and loggers just trying to hang on, kind of like the truckers protesting and saying the gasoline or the diesel is just too high to afford. With diesel being more, the price of a gallon of gasoline. Anyway, people who used to boast about profits brag about how they're able to stop the bleeding. One businessman says, "I don't know of anybody that's turning any respectable profits at all." No, you can't lose all your manufacturing jobs. And then you've got to have some sawmills, you've got to have some. All systems that can change, or any systems that can change, will change. The closer we get to 2012. Yes, many things have got to change, or adapt, or go away. But it is about change. It's about change. More signs. Last days, end times. Whatever have you called it. And there are many.